Today we're going to be talking about Forest Green. We're going to be talking about what they do off the pitch, a lot of their incentives they've got going on. At the end, we're also going to give you our thoughts on their kits.
A bit of a controversial statement from Ant. So as we know at the moment, obviously we've got some big football going on with the World Cup. All eyes are kind of over there. However, this weekend, the League One does kick back in. I think pretty much all teams are in action. One of those teams is Forest Green, down the bottom of the table, lagging in 24th position.
No good.
On 14 points, so they've got a bit of a gap to catch up on there. But I guess more so than looking at the football side, we want to be looking at what are they doing off the pitch, what is the club kind of standing for these days, and what sort of message are they trying to send to the community, and then the wider footballing group. In 2017, Forest Green Rovers was officially recognised as the world's first vegan football club after they received the vegan trademark from the Vegan Society. So big news there.
Big accolade.
In 2015, they replaced their menu with fresh vegan food. So they kind of got rid of all meat products.
That's at the ground, or that's
That's at the ground, yeah.
players can eat?
So, and their players menu as well, yeah. So they've replaced,
Players are vegans,
yeah. So they've replaced their player and fan menus to be vegan.
so they only sign vegan players.
So at the club, the players are provided with a vegan-based diet, but external to eating, I guess, in and around the training ground or at the stadium, they can choose to not be vegan, as far as I'm aware. If that's not the case, make sure you drop it in the comments, let us know as well. But as far as the information that we've kind of looked at, the club for players, fans in and around ground training, things like that, promoting vegan-only menus. What you do in your own time is up to you. So that's the message that they're trying to provide.
Yeah.
Additionally to that, in 2021, the team became the first in the world to play in a football kit made from a composite material consisting of recycled plastic and coffee ground.
So the kit smells like coffee.
Yeah, or the coffee ground. As well as the fact that they also have plans to build a new stadium called Eco Park. And that is going to be predominantly built from renewable materials and things such as wood. So yeah, they kind of have this big project moving forward to be kind of completely eco-friendly. So yeah, so they have a few initiatives kind of building together there, which I guess raises the questions of what should clubs be doing for the wider community and within football to promote this message that we should be taking care of the environment, we should be looking after ourselves and other people as well. And sort of where does that line start and stop? For example, promoting things such as the vegan diet to their athletes and to their fans that may otherwise be beyond their scope or outside of their practice.
I think it's a good thing. Definitely, like in terms of like the materials with the stadium and them going like green and being sustainable and whatnot. That's obviously like a very good thing. And when you've got a football club that's so influential and all the fans there will, they see their players and their club doing certain things, naturally you kind of start doing things yourself. They're kind of your heroes, your idols. They can have a big impact. That's why you see so much kind of, maybe like political things now surrounding football when they're like taking a knee and the Black Lives Matter and all those movements. It's the same for kind of environmentally friendly topics. For me, it's probably a bit controversial, but like the thing around the diet, around being vegan, I think there's still probably a lot out there in terms of, I know there's a lot of people in both camps saying a vegan diet's great. A vegan diet's maybe not so great, and research behind food. But I think, we've seen, as we've mentioned in a previous video around like Wrexham as well, whenever clubs start doing things a little bit differently, it really encourages like the fan base and the community to do those things too. And it wouldn't surprise me if the town there are all kind of trying their best to go green as well. They start seeing these messages from the club. And even just, however many fans they get into the game on the weekend, there's already, if those fans are having a bit of bite of food, that's already one meal times X amount of people they've got there that are eating less meat and things like that. So they are achieving their goal and doing it through football, which is good. The environmentally friendly thing, it's probably hard to disagree with that. What do you think?
Yeah, I think you kind of touched on a few things there. As an overall, the clubs within that community space are kind of the driving force, and a lot of people will jump on and follow their lead. Even down to small things like recycling and what kind of message they're trying to produce or promote, everyone follow. And I think that is commendable for these guys to have jumped on that early, especially with looking at, building this eco park where they're building a stadium from wood, things like that. Like, great positive signs there. I think for me, it probably pushes a little bit too far at times where they are going like 100% vegan. I think, maybe me working within like the health and fitness sort of space, I have my own views, and a lot of that kind of does come from data and what we know from research versus maybe also a bit political in what you think. But ultimately, I think everyone should have the choice and the option to be making these decisions for themselves. And that's maybe where they might be going a little bit too far.
So where they're forcing their players at the training ground to have a vegan diet?
Or their fans. In principle, I agree with we need to be more conscious of these things. And this whole, plant-based or organic food is definitely a great pathway to be kind of focused on decreasing the amount of processed foods we're eating. But I think ultimately, in life, no matter what your viewpoint is, it's important to be respectful of other people's viewpoint and have the option there for those people to practice or facilitate that view. If I want to have a vegan diet, I should be allowed to and have those options on the menu. But likewise, I probably should be allowed, a lean beef or chicken or fish type items if I choose to do so as well. I guess that is difficult as well because you could flip and say, well, these clubs, this is a business almost that they're paying you their wage, and as part of that contract or as part of coming to play for them, that's where you kind of, you have to toe the party line. So it is a bit of a difficult one, and
it might be a bit hypocritical to kind of have all that message around this is us, this is a club, this is what we do, this is what we're promoting. You might have some players in who you're putting on all your posters and they're just eating meat. It would be like a real difficult position for the club to be in because, you do want to set a strong message, and any kind of business that's saying, hey, this is what we stand for, this is what we're going to do. Come work for us, but we kind of expect you to align with our values, and that's why we're doing what we're doing. I mean, it is pretty tough to kind of force someone to eat a certain diet, but they obviously believe that that's the right thing, and as football players, if they don't agree, there's probably some other clubs out there too, but maybe that's a different conversation altogether.
But I think ultimately the major topic is that we seem to be seeing more and more that football clubs or football organisations are getting involved with maybe political or social issues and social debates almost, and there's almost this push to go sort of one way or the other. I think obviously the easiest example is the World Cup at the moment with the One Love armbands and how different authorities or organisations are banning, even FIFA getting involved now, saying you can, you can't, and then getting yellow cards and bookings. It's all kind of becoming this mashup of like what's right and what we should be doing versus the outcomes and forcing everyone to be in this camp or not in that camp. And it is an interesting one where football seems to be the driving factor behind that now versus say something like a politician or your local MPs where they actually have power to make change. But it seems that football is a thing, or sport in general, that everyone looks to drive that. And that's something we see here in this instance with Forest Green.
Yeah, it is strange because you are, as a footballer, you've worked your whole life practicing football and getting better every day, every week. And then all of a sudden people are now asking you political questions and expecting you to be not just good at football now, but also be up to date with everything political, ethical, and be an influence on the public and the fans, which as a fan you understand because are you going to listen to a politician who you don't really know and you might see on the TV or see in the newspaper or whatever, or you've got this guy that you look up to and he's saying do this, and you naturally, especially younger people, they're going to be like, oh, okay, my favourite player's doing this, I'm going to copy him. So that's why I think there's such a strong message around football, and a lot of the clubs who have such a strong influence over the people, I feel, can get behind it, but it's a difficult place for the players to be at times. Yeah, especially with the World Cup, because when you see the managers after games, they've just played 90 minutes of football, and the first question they're getting asked is, what's your view on this controversial topic? And it's like, I'm actually just trained and I'm an expert in football. But some people think it's good, some people think it's bad. But the biggest thing for me about Forest Green is the environmental kind of push and that conservation that they're trying to do. That it's hard to argue with sustainable materials.
I think they also are recognised as the first carbon neutral football club by FIFA. So obviously that's something that we are kind of seeing as accepted within society, that we need to be pushing more towards that place. So credit where credit is due. They're kind of the leading or forerunners in that regard. So moving on to that, did you want to quickly sort of rank aside from that sort of their kits? I guess from an aesthetic point of view. Yeah,
let's have a look at the kits. It's not a team I admittedly kind of watch play. I think, why are they League One?
League One, yes.
So, most people are probably watching the Premier League. There's the Championship below that. This is now the third tier. So, probably not a team that you see getting as many headlines as a lot of other global teams, but I thought it'd just be interesting to have a look at their kit. You know, we've got a bit of a break with the World Cup, but especially with their strong green message, it's no surprise they've got a green kit. So yeah, so the home kit's green. It's got like some trendy kind of slashes to it. Looks like they've maybe been attacked by a tiger. So they've got the black and green colours. For me, admittedly, green's not my favourite colour.
Yep.
Looks like they've got a pink away kit and maybe a bit more of a subtle kind of navy with a blue third kit. And so my pick of the bunch there is probably going to be the third kit.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I think that is a reasonably nice colour pattern there. They've kind of meshed together.
It's a different sponsor on the third kit to the home and the away kit, which is
Sea Shepherd. So I'm pretty sure that Sea Shepherd is a conservation organisation.
Yeah, well,
and that
they've teamed up with
Ecotricity, who is a YouTube channel.
Yeah, they teamed up with them,
And I think they've actually changed the pitch name as well as a result of that.
Yeah.
To like the fully charged pitch or something like that.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, it's no surprise, you know, as a whole, they've obviously got kind of eco-friendly companies sponsoring them too. So yeah, we're unanimous there. So the third kit's probably nicer.
Definitely the best.
I want to touch on the crest as well. Nice circular one.
Circular crests do seem to be coming in a bit at the moment, don't they? I think we've seen a few teams change their badge in the last few years.
Well, big one, Man City.
Man City as well.
Complete rebrand.
Aston Villa have recently looking to change to a circular badge as well, I'm pretty sure. That was kind of a unanimous vote.
Yeah, okay. No, the circle badge definitely seems to be in.
Bristol City as well being one that moved to a circular badge.
Yeah, not too bad. I mean, you've got the three colours there, the black, the white and the green. Got a line there and what looks to be a unicorn. Unicorns don't exist though. So,
but lions with crowns do.
They're always wearing crowns. A lot of brands, I think, worldwide are making their brands so simple now. You think about Liverpool, theirs gone from like the big crest now to just a liver bird. And I think the style is, you think about global sports brand, I think the New York Yankees with the N and the Y, it's not just a sports brand, but it's like a brand now. It's a fashion statement. I think a lot of teams are going that direction, and yeah, you see it in even like car brands and things. They're simplifying.
Yeah, possibly.
For me, I like simplicity.
Yeah.
So like I said, there's three colours, but you know, black and white, they're fine. Green is obviously the headline colour there.
I mean, it's in their name, so that's fair enough.
Yeah, which is fine. Forest Green fans, let us know your thoughts on that. If you guys are aware of any of those other incentives, maybe there's other clubs out there doing very similar things. We might touch on them in future. But yeah, if you guys agree with our views on the kits, let us know your thoughts, what you'd rank them. Maybe it's something we might look at in future, and yeah, we could look at some other clubs as well.
Yeah, let us also know if there's any initiatives that you think other clubs should be jumping on that they are leading the race with.
Yeah, true. All right, I think that probably about does us for today.
Yeah, perfect.
All right.
Until next time.
Yeah, thanks guys. That was Red Mate.
Red Mate.
Cheers. Oh, yeah, okay.
You're raising questions I don't know the answer to.
Tell me.